Another bit of Dead Cells news for you guys. So this morning, MotionTwin has just released another update regarding the future of Dead Cells in the form of the following roadmap. So I thought it would be nice to kind of give you guys a quick update and go through their statements and see what we can expect for the rest of 2022 and maybe even a little bit of 2023. So reading off the top of the paragraph, people thought the development of Dead Cells is almost done, but actually that's not the case. In fact, they plan on stepping up the updates for Dead Cells in 2023 and onwards. Now, the obvious bit is this update regarding the Panchak and the legendary reworks. This does appear to be coming out by this summer, so I'm guessing the end of this month or in August. But before we get to the other update sneak peeks, I just want to say something regarding this update that I didn't cover in my alpha overview video. So, in addition to the new weapons as well as the legendary reworks, we've also got weapon rebalancing of existing ones. Some of them were buffs, but some of them were nerfs. The thing about nerfs is that you really have to be careful with them, because in any game, it feels a lot worse when a existing item or thing gets nerfed versus when it gets buffed, because instead of adding something to the mix, you're taking something away from the players. When it comes to rebalancing, I think the best case scenario is to just have a lot of playtesting behind the scenes before an update is released. And if they were to be releasing a new weapon or mutation or item, I rather prefer it to be underleveled versus overleveled when it releases, because if you buff it later on, then people wouldn't really mind it too much. But if you give players something and then nerf it later, then it's gonna feel a lot worse. I understand that in like multiplayer games like Hearthstone or Overwatch, it's understandable that some items or characters will get nerfed because there is a competitive scene, right? To ensure that the meta stays healthy and no one gets an inherent advantage, it's very important that all of the game's balancings are on par all the time. But something interesting is that in a lot of gacha games like Genshin Impact, even though if they release something that's completely broken and busted, they will not actually nerf it. Like in the history in a lot of gacha games, they have never nerfed a single character or item in the game, because it feels really bad when they take power away from the players. Now, admittedly, yes, you don't have to pay like $200 for your favorite anime waifu PNG, but the general opinion I have regarding weapon rebalances is that I would say the best case scenario is to just nerf all the weapons in this patch, all the ones that are way too overtuned, and then later on you can slowly introduce buffs here and there just to bring things up a little bit. Because I would rather them get out all of the nerfs in one fell swoop and then I never have to nerf another item again. So hopefully this update will be the last time we will see nerfs happen in Dead Cells. So moving on to the next section. The update in fall of this year is a boss rush. The basic idea is to let you fight all the bosses you've met so far, one after the other, including unlockables. They're also adding a few different modes in the boss rush to expand the challenge, and be adding a scoreboard to keep a little bit of competition. So a couple things about a boss rush. I think it's a good idea, but the main issue is how they plan on implementing it. Because if it's like one boss rush layout, you're just going in, you fight the same bosses back to back, then you'll probably be done with all of the content within like 2 hours. But if you shake things up, if you give the player different equipment every single time, then I can see it being helpful. One thing that I've always wanted in Dead Cells is challenges, because in something like Binding of Isaac, there are these different challenges with different conditions, and you have to beat the game following those conditions. And the first time you beat each challenge, you will unlock a new item. The only thing that resembles that in Dead Cells is the daily challenges, but the thing is, once you get all the unlocks from the daily challenges, there's very little reason to actually do it again. Now clearly with the dailies, it is possible that there is some sort of multiplayer component in the game, just by keeping track of everyone's top scores and everything. So I'm interested in the idea, but we'll have to see how they plan on implementing this. And last but not least, in winter there will be another update, but we don't know anything about that just yet. And again, they have stated that in 2023, they will actually be picking up with updates in Dead Cells. I for one am very excited that I picked a game that gets constant updates, because a thing that I think a lot of us should be aware of is that Dead Cells is a release game, it's not an early access. The devs are not obligated to give us any bit of additional content post-launch, and the fact that they're doing it and all for free is pretty exciting. So I am looking forward to what they come up with next regarding the future of Dead Cells. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little update video, and thank you all for watching.